be a friendly, family type of name.
I get a phone call one night from a friend.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Hi, this is Doreen saying hello from Hangzhou, China. Good afternoon to all the entrepreneurs online, and good afternoon to AGI family. So today we are going to bring the introduction webinar on doing cross-border e-commerce and sell to China, this topic. So let me first give you a bit background. So this online course is actually developed by Taobao University, and why AGI? If you know AGI as a AGI family member, you are pretty familiar with our team. So if you are coming from other channels and you don't know about AGI, AGI is stands for Alibaba Global Initiatives, and it's a department under Alibaba Business School. So we deliver entrepreneur facing trainings, and especially focusing on the entrepreneur mindset change. So our programs is, as I said, is focusing on mindset change and inspirations. And because we have received continuous requests on how to do business with China, how to sell my products to China from the fellow entrepreneurs who have joined our previous trainings. So we have been talking to Taobao University to leverage their resources, including the courses and lecturers, to bring this topic on how to do e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce to sell to China. So for today's webinar, we are going to introduce how the course is designed, and who are the target audience can take advantage and benefit from the online course, and how the course will be delivered. And we will have another Q&A session at the end of the introduction webinar afterwards. So let me first introduce. So the topic is cross-border e-commerce practice, and under the title of Sell to China. Today we are going to have first introduce a bit about Taobao University. So it's what the function of Taobao University and what kind of courses they deliver. And second, I will introduce in general the program details and information about the programs, and then I will introduce the key lecturers that we have invited to deliver the course. And next, I will invite one of the key lecturers to give you the introduction of the course. And then at the end of all the introductions, we will have the Q&A session. So Taobao University actually is established in 2006, and it's one of the core education and training platform of Alibaba Group. And the mission of Taobao University is to empower merchants with the expertise to thrive in today's rapidly changing digital landscape. So actually, by now, Taobao University have already 10 million students in 133 countries with more than 200 qualified lecturers and extensive and practical syllabus. So you can see the Taobao University is more focusing on the practical trainings, especially on how to do e-commerce. So you can see of all the Taobao University courses, we have selected some contents that later we are going to we're thinking about leveraging the resources to bring to AGI family, and just like sell to China, how to sell to Southeast Asia, for example. And second part, if you want to build a digital economy or digital talent system, how to do digital transformation of enterprise and governments. We have the courses of, for example, enable digital economy talents, comprehensive understanding of digital economy. And also, if you want to adapt the key success factors of digital business and adapt it to your local businesses, we will have courses on new retail, new business, and finance economy and new marketing, and the power of data. So, so this is a bit background of Taobao University, and how we design the program. So the program, you can see from the name, is Sell to China program by cross-border e-commerce. So the target audience of this program will be enterprises and brands who want to enter China market and get successful. And the learning outcome will be, it will take 2 weeks for you to take the online courses. And the courses will equip you with, first of all, the China market and local consumers' behavior and trend. So you will understand how big is the China market, and if your products or your category is the best fit for China market or not. And then the opportunities of imported products in China's e-commerce economy. So as you know that the demand for imported products are very high in China, and actually we have government promoting import to China. So we have all kinds of mechanisms and regulations and policies to encourage import to China. And then we will narrow down to cross-border e-commerce platforms in China. So cross-border e-commerce is actually an initiative developed by both by public sectors and private sectors. And as you may know, that Alibaba is one of the key key players to participate in the initiatives back to 7 years ago. And then we will introduce, if you are thinking about using the cross-border e-commerce platform as a channel to import, to sell to China, then we will also introduce what are the logistic challenges and the potential solutions if you are thinking about using the cross-border e-commerce as a logistic solution. And then we will also let you know that if you want to operate an online store, e-commerce store, what shall you do? What will you do? And for example, what are the key regulations? What are the key platforms? And what kind of team or partner you should get to set up the store? And then, last but not the last part will be how to connect you to consumers. It's more focusing on the marketing strategy, how to create a go-market strategy. And you can see the course length will be 2 weeks, and there will be 6 modules and 3 hours per module. And so that means 12 to 15 hours per week. And the size of the live class is, the class will be done with live streaming, and the size of the class will be 30 to 40 participants. So you can see we have 6 modules, and it actually is done designed by the decision chain of how you want to, if you are thinking about selling your products to China. So the module 1 will be the China market overview. How big is China market, and if the market is good for your products, and show how your products can fit in the market. So this is an overview of the China market. And then we come to Module 2. Module 2 will be the introduction on e-commerce development in China. So especially in this module, we are going to introduce, for example, customer behaviors on e-commerce, and what are their preferences, and how to enter to China via e-commerce channels. And then, if you, as you may think about leveraging the e-commerce channel to come to China to sell your products, then we come to Module 3. What platform can I leverage? So there are cross-border e-commerce platforms in China. So in this module, we are going to introduce what are the cross-border e-commerce solutions, is how it operates, and how to leverage it, and what are the differences between different modules of different platforms. And then it comes to Module 4. As you may have decided to leverage the cross-border e-commerce platform in China, then how the logistic is designed. So in this module, we are going to introduce cross-border logistics. There are challenges and solutions. So what are the challenges and what are the solutions? And what are the regulations as well? So some categories are permitted to enter into the boundary warehouse, for example, and some are not. So what are different solutions to different categories according to different regulations? So this will be the key focuses on the module 4. And then we come to module 5. After your products are successfully entered China, how to set up and operate an e-commerce store and on the platform, that you select. So in this part, we are going to introduce how to set up the store and what are the key factors that you need to take into consideration when you decide to set up the store, and what kind of partners or team you should find and set up. And then the last part, after you set up the store, how to get in touch with your consumers, how to sell your products and build up your brand awareness among Chinese consumers. So this is the go-to-market strategy. And then you can see throughout all the modules, we have the simulation platform. So the simulation platform is a platform that you can actually practice what you have learned on the platform. And we will group you into smaller groups and try it on the platform. So the platform is actually very close to the actual platform based on the calculations. So you can really experience and operate on the simulation platform to try how to do cross-border e-commerce using that one. So introduction in details. First of all, we will take 3 hours on how to use the cross-border e-commerce simulation platform. There will be 2 parts in these 3 hours. First of all, it will be an introduction how to use the simulation platform, and then our teacher will guide you to put a hands-on practice on the simulation platform in the 3 hours. So this will be an introduction on the toolkits. And then we come to Module 1, China Market Overview. It consists of China ABC, for example, regulation-wise, how China promote or encourage import, and what are the key categories, what are the trends, and business map for entering into China. For example, how big is the market in Tier 1, Tier 2 cities and some other, is there any potential for Tier 3, Tier 4 cities? And what are the key categories and what are the behavior change of customers, Chinese customers? And what are the key challenges of doing business in China, especially for import category? And then Module 2, e-commerce development in China. So we will introduce China e-commerce environment and development. You know that China e-commerce is very advanced and kind of become a lifestyle of Chinese people. So we will introduce how Chinese customers' behavior on e-commerce platforms, and especially when they purchase, what are the decision factors when they purchase imported products, and what are the consumer profiles, and and also we will introduce key opportunities of doing e-commerce in China, and of course key challenges. And in Module 3, we are going to introduce cross-border e-commerce platforms in China. First of all, we will introduce the key approaches of entering into China. So there are different ways of doing import to sell to China. As you know that there are ordinary import by ordinary trade, but in this course we are going to be focusing on the cross-border e-commerce solutions, which is, as I mentioned before, an initiative back to 7 years ago. And we're going to give you a case study leveraging Alibaba's cross-border e-commerce platforms, because in Alibaba ecosystem we have different modules on different BUs and platforms to support different ways of doing cross-border e-commerce. For example, Tmall Global, Kaola.com, and Taobao Global. So all those platforms are doing cross-border e-commerce model to sell imported products to the Chinese consumers, but there are some differences between those platforms. And then in Module 4, we are going to focus on the logistics solutions and challenges. So what are the common challenges to cross-border logistics? And according to, as I mentioned before, different regulations based on according to different categories. And what are the key solutions to do cross-border, especially logistic-wise? And of course, we are going to give you an appraisal of each logistic solution. So what are the efficiency and what are the cost? So there will be a cost estimation for each logistics solution. And in this part, we are going to introduce especially some case study of leveraging the differences of different logistics solutions. For example, boundary warehouse, to put your products first into the boundary warehouse, then you have a shorter lead time and better customer experiences. But there will be some regulations on the specific categories, and there are, if it's not permitted to enter the boundary warehouse, there will be other solutions. So we will be bring more details on that part. And then Module 5, how to set up the e-store and how to manage and operate e-stores. So I know that you might be very interested in this part. So, but it's not an easy thing to do. So there will be must-knows for running an e-store on cross-border e-commerce platforms, not just Alibaba platforms, other platforms as well. And how to select your products, how to do visual arts of e-store to attract customers' eyeballs, and how to do e-store operation, how to manage the traffic, and how to attend or initiate promotions. And customer relations, of course, how to guarantee the customer have a very good experiences before pre-purchase and post-purchase. And of course, e-commerce team structure and coordination, this is very important because it's related directly to the cost estimation. And then the last module will be the go-to-market strategy. So we'll be focusing on the marketing online. First of all, you need to understand customers' online behavior. Especially Chinese customers are very sophisticated because they are very experienced of online shoppings. And customer-centric approach, how to analyze your customers' behavior and then have your marketing approach according to that. And big data, yeah. So how to leverage data to do marketing, to make your marketing more efficient and cost efficient. And then content marketing strategy, yes, as you are familiar with the live streaming, yeah, this is one part of content marketing. Then, but there are many aspects of content marketing as well. And also how to find the right local e-commerce service provider. So we call it on Tmall, we call them TP, Tmall partner. So how to find the right local e-commerce service provider, a TP partner for your businesses in China. And then we're going to, of course, bring a case study to elaborate more and explain all the approaches in details. Yeah, this is the cross-border e-commerce simulation platform. So you can see this is a simulation platform as it's called. So we actually simulate the actual situation of doing e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce using this platform. And this platform has already been set up and practiced by many users for more than 20 years. So you can see we have market research, product, how to procure products, this, and how to market your products and how to sell your products and how to analyze the results. So this is actually the whole operation and decision chain simulation on the platform. So we will have our coach to guide you do the first round, and we will have also the coach all the time during your online course to be there answering your questions. So this is something that will be very efficient to make what you have learned in practice. Yeah, this is a snapshot of the simulation platform. You can take a look. So this is a simulation on how to purchase and sell, for example, berry, fresh products. And you can see there are a lot of like charts and reports, and those which are used will be leveraged to make decisions for purchase and sales. Yeah, and program agenda. So as mentioned, it will take 2 weeks. We will kick off on the 19th of April. So because we will have entrepreneurs around the world, so we will start each module at 6 p.m. China time, GMT plus 8, and it takes 3 hours per each module. So we every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the first week we will have like 4 days to have the online courses, and except Thursday. And then the second week we will have also 4 days among the 5 days. So only Tuesday we will have we won't have the online courses. So you can see, so that will be a fully dedicated online courses for 2 weeks. Yeah, and yeah, most important, our lecturer profiles. So I will introduce 2 of our major lecturers. The first one is Tommy Cheng. Tommy is a certified lecturer from Taobao University of Alibaba Group, and he is also the one of the top 10 online entrepreneurs of Alibaba. And he has lecturing experience in Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, Russia, and some other countries as well. So he used to be a brand owner with 200 million annual revenue of his brand. And he has over 10 years experience in developing e-commerce brand strategies, and also have serviced more than 30 consumable brands. And there are a lot of successful showcases. So he will be introducing some cases during his lectures. And yeah, he also owns live streaming centers in Southeast Asia. So if you have questions regarding live streaming, we have Q&A sessions for each of the lectures. So if you have questions, you can ask him when he is delivering his lectures. And also he has a book publication from Made in China to Created in China. And Power, actually Power will be giving us the introduction course after me. So you will meet him actually in a few minutes. So actually me and Power used to be working in Tmall Global. So Tmall Global is actually the first and cross-border e-commerce platform in China, and so far it's the largest one in China. So we were working when Tmall Global just established. So we have been working together for a few years. And after Tmall Global, he actually has done a lot of job. And for example, he's a co-partner of Voyage One Group, who is doing specialized in the cross-border e-commerce from U.S. to China, and has many successful cases bringing U.S. brands and even U.S. supermarkets to China. So he has a lot of experiences in that. And yeah, and then he has started up his own businesses. So he's an entrepreneur himself now. He's doing cross-border e-commerces. He's doing live streamings. So he has many things to share with you during his lectures. So, and yeah, he will bring a lot of cases to help you understand what he's trying to explain in his lectures. And Yeah, let me see what other key points that I will highlight. Yeah, actually the one of the very successful cases he has done a very good successful launch for Costco on Tmall Global, and back to 7 years ago, the Costco mixed nuts is the hero item for the whole e-commerce cross-border business model. So that's remember, even now many people still remember how many times that the Costco mixed nuts has been sold in the first Double 11 cross-border trade. So, and also he have a target synchronized nearly like 40,000 SKUs to Tmall Global and gain the top sales by providing a multi-warehouse linkage solution. So he's very specialized in cross-border regulations and cross-border logistics and how to do marketing based on the understanding of the behaviors of Chinese consumers. If you have any questions, you can ask him after today's session or during the session he will be bringing afterwards for the online courses. So let's welcome Power. Thank you, Power.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's my part. Thank you, Doreen, for your rich introduction about myself. Okay, it's more rich than me if I introduce myself first to you. Okay, so yeah, let's skip this and we'll just start the introduction course today. Actually, today I want to introduce you how that you can face into this new market and step by step how you can make your decisions and how you can get involved into your real business in China. So here we have what, why, who, how, and when. So as maybe your basic questions about this charming market, okay? And what? So what China online market is like? Actually, China now has the most charming, most exciting online market now. So actually last year is something like 1.7 trillion US dollar GMV for China online market. So because for last year there was the pandemic, so even like this, the sales volume of China online market is more than like US dollar 1.4 trillion in 2019 and 1.7 trillion in 2020. So still keep a high increasing rate after the COVID-19. You can say the increasing rate for quarterly is only it's still like 20%, even more. So actually, China is a big market. This is the first conclusion. And second one, China is a challenged market because a lot of brands, local brands already grew up, and a lot of international giants, they also come in for a long time. And for cross-border, even this new model, they started for 8 years. So within these 8 years, almost all the international famous brands have already come to China in this solution. So actually, it is not really easy for you to come in today, but still it is a potential market because the market is large enough. You can find your opportunities in your category, maybe in your subcategory, or maybe in your target audience. So it's a challenge market, but it's still a potential market. And the third conclusion is that maybe this is a fast changing market. Okay, from the year maybe 2003 when Taobao started C2C business in China, it's still like this almost 20 years, it's changing rather fast. From the shelf e-commerce like Amazon and eBay are doing today to like the content market that is very popular now in China with the live streaming we're doing, with short videos, with tech images, and even with some of the VR technology to be adopted into e-commerce, it's changing rather fast. So, okay, so what China online market is like? First, it's big. Second, it's challenge. And third, it's fast changing. Okay. And why you have to come to China? We have a 1.4 billion population. Okay, it's the largest in the world. So actually, you have a very large consumer base, and the GDP per capita is already reached 10,000 US dollars. So that's a sign that the consumers can be rich, and maybe they have a good potential for consumption. And also the PCDI is something like 4,000 US dollars. And so actually in the tier 1 and tier 2 cities is much more like much more than this figure, so that in those cities the consumer can have a better consumption power. So who are supposed to be your target consumers? Actually, we have a lot of vast consumer structure, but here I just take one as an example. It's young women. Okay, so the young women below of age 30, it's something like they have different kinds of like single, like office lady, and the young mom. They have different target of consumption. Okay, so like single, they will make much like fashion, and some new things are traveling. And the office lady is just when dining and some of the daily consumption. And there's a young mom, of course, they'll take their baby as the first. So actually, if you want to come to China, you have to analyze your consumers very detailed, because it's a vast population. But if you want to target some of them, you have to know who are they and what's their habits and how you can reach them. Okay, so actually there are some of the parts very easily we introduce the what, why, and who. So if you can join our course, actually for the first part of the China market overview, you can have a more detailed data, and you have a more detailed methods how to analyze the markets and finalize your plan coming to China. So actually this is the basic, but I know that you are focusing on how you can come into the China market. Just now it's gathering information, and all the information come to you. You have to analyze how your product can be proposed to the consumers, and how you can get your consumers interested in your product. And then you can make a plan how you can come really, like what is their budget and what is their marketing proposal, and of course how you can set up your office or find a real partner here in China. Okay, and then confirm a budget and start your route. Okay, I think if I just state this how like this, you will not satisfied, because it's quite it's only a concept. So today I bring one case I'm operating today for you to know, to let you to know how those similar brands, and when they decide to come to China, what kind of challenges they are thinking, they're meeting, and what topics we're talking about, what problems we're trying to work together with them to solve this problem. Okay, background of the brand is like Deepen. It's a high-end probiotics brand from Korea. Okay, and so actually it's targeted to the high-end consumer groups, and the average price is similar, like 100 US dollar. So that's already quite high in this probiotics category. So like in China, the average consumption price of probiotics is only something like $30. So it's 3 to 4 times to the average line. So actually, when they started interested into China market, they give us a lot of questions for us. Okay, any opportunity for my products in China, because it's very expensive, to the Chinese consumers. But After we study the market, we see that even in this subcategory, a very small category, people have different minds, people have different needs. So actually, some of them, maybe they are buying very cheap probiotics, but some of them, they are still buying similar products from abroad. So actually, yes, after study, yes, we see it's a big market and you do have your target audience, and this group is already made for their consumption on internet. So you can educate your consumers, okay? And what is the regulation for selling my products into China? A lot of brands, when they started your business in China before you're starting, they just ask something about regulation. Yeah, it's very normal because the regulation in China is complicated, and like this probiotics category, it's a supplements. So if you want to come to China as before in the traditional trading way, you have to do this CFDA certification in China, so that when you get that certification, you can get into China normal market, okay? But if like CFDA, you want to make this certificate, it takes something like you maybe half year to 1 year, even 2 years, you can start your business because it's a long process, a lot of documentations to be submitted, and also you have to public some of your properties to make the government can permit your products coming to China. So actually, a lot of products, the first step, they just give up because the regulation problems. But is there any other way? Which import model should I use for product? Is there any other way that I can just skip this CFDA and start my testing and step into the market? Yes, actually, like the cross-border way, it's already a different way from the traditional trade. For supplements today in China, if you are taking the cross-border way, actually, you can just skip this CFDA and come into China directly. So that's easier and lower threshold for the brand. But of course, like the cross-border, you can only sell your products online and only for in the cross-border channels. That's also a limitation. But at least you have your opportunity to start your business as early as possible, because maybe if you start maybe later, there are a lot of other competitors already to be very strong in this market. So how can we solve the logistic problems if in this cross-border way, and what is the cost? Actually, the cross-border starts in the year of 2014. So the infrastructure in China now and the regulation part is already quite stable in China. So actually you can put your products into the bonded warehouse and ship the products from the bonded warehouse after the order is placed by the consumers, and then these orders goes to the consumers. So that's very easy, and the cost is also reasonable. So this is the way that you can start your business here quickly. Through which channel platform can we sell our products? As I said, those channels are limited. So actually, we suggest them start from Tmall Global, which is the largest cross-border import platform in China. And also, actually, after that, they can also make some of the distribution actions, but later I can mention. Okay, and what is, actually, this is the most important after all the critical questions have been raised and answered. What is my brand positioning and marketing strategy? Yes, because it's a premium product, so actually we're targeting to the high level, high consumption level group, and also we're making some of the marketing strategies fit into them to tell the audiences that what is my product, what is my advantage of my products, and what is my technology, and why I'm so expensive, like my background stories, like the technologies development in this industry, and we are the top ones. So actually, those kind of things, before coming to China, you have to solve all those challenges, okay? And then after you have made your decision, after you started your first step coming to China, you are in the way. So it's a cross-border e-commerce. As a very simple introduction, it's different from traditional trading, because if you import your products by traditional trading, definitely you can sell your products in all the different channels, online and offline, to facing the consumers. But as mentioned, some of the categories like supplements and cosmetics, they have the CFDA requirements, and also the tax duty structure is quite different. So actually, if you can join our course, we can tell you the different points to compare the CBEC to the traditional trade, so that you can have a very clear mind which model is better for me and where I can start. Okay. So from the year of 2020, from August 2020, the Dismoney brand opened their Tmall Global store. And as you can see, today the Chinese consumers can enjoy this premium brand on the cross-border channels. And also, after the retail business is developed in a level, they also started the wholesale cross-border business. Actually, this is the back end of Taobao global distribution platform. So all their major products are listed here, and also they can distribute it to the Taobao global stores, so that all the other interested stores can sell their products into their audiences. So you can see, even by this cross-border model, you can have this B2B2C model to face your consumers, to let your channels sell your products to more consumers. Of course, as we have already done a lot of marketing actions, like we're seeing a lot of articles or videos on Redbook, where the young moms are quite popular there. They read a lot of articles every day, so that they were educated by the brand why they have to choose those kind of probiotics for their babies. And they also have some superstars to do live streaming on the Taobao platform, so that, okay, by the endorsement of those kind of superstars, people believe this is a quite good brand. And also have the implementation in some of the hot TV shows. Of course, the audience are the moms, so that they can know that maybe, okay, choose the best products for their kids. So here actually is a lot investment into the market. Okay, it's not only these three pictures. We have a lot of materials where we are doing every day a lot of marketing actions. Okay, it's just a very simple case that okay, those kind of things we are doing, but there is a marketing structure, step 1, step 2, step 3, and also there is a budget to be made every month and performed by the team. So actually that is also one of the big challenge now you have to face if you want to come to China market. Of course, we have some of the marketing to China courses in our series course, so that if you are interested how your business can grow from 0 to 1, that is a very important part that we give a lot of methods and channels that you have to in touch with, and how in these channels you can face your consumers and educate them. Okay, so actually the team is also another topic. Actually, if you want to do everything by yourself in China, it's a lot of investment. So actually, after we communicated with the brand, they just set up a very small office, put 3 people in China in charge of daily communication with the Korean part, and also like the marketing strategy to be performed in China. In this way, actually, there are some advantages, because they are the office instead of standing for the Korean brand, so they know the benefits and they know the budget from the headquarters. But they are located in China, so actually they know what's happening in China. As I mentioned, it's a fast-changing market, so your strategy is there, but the actions are changing every day. So that's a quick reaction team in China. But of course, only 3 people cannot operate like this brand or this project in China. They also find a TP, what we call the Tmall partner, to do the daily operation of store operation, customer services, after sales services, and some of the in Taobao, in Alibaba ecosystem marketing actions. Okay, so there is a small office, but they also work with the TP to enlarge their business. This is a demo how the TP gave the weekly report back to the China office, so they can have daily communication, the data review based on those kind of reports. Okay, and for logistics, actually this probiotics, it is they have the temperature control, so they have to kept like in the stable temperature environment. So even today, the Boundary warehouse, they already have the temperature control. Those are the pictures we showed from the warehouse we're using today in Ningbo, which also nearby Hangzhou in the same province. Actually, they have already a lot of infrastructures in this business model, so that in different kind of the ways, different kinds of products, you can find your proper ideas or proper solutions, putting your product into the Boundary warehouse. Okay, and the cost is also acceptable in our business model today. Yeah, here is the results we can have today. So after something like half-year operation on Tmall Global, we already come to the 10th store on this probiotics category. We cannot say it's a big result or it's a good result, okay? But we see that after we tested, our efforts, it's already in this screen. It's already in the first screen that you can see in this category. Of course, a lot of brands ranking higher, they already maybe doing the China market for 4 years, 5 years, or even 10 years. So that's quite different from today. But as our operation, we do have an opportunity that this new brand, not ever heard for the Chinese consumers, can do a good result within half a year and shown to the consumers. But as I said, it's not easy way. There is a lot of challenges that we are facing. There are a lot of investments we have to do. You do have a sufficient budget today, and maybe you're just not putting earning money in the first year of your business. Just to take your positioning in the market is quite more important. So there are still a lot of challenges we are facing to enlarge the business, to get more KOS working for us, or to enlarge different channels in different kind of logistic models. So those challenges we are still facing every day. So as I said, it is a charming market, but if you decide to come, just prepare everything, and then you can move step by step. So that's how actually within this 10 years of e-commerce business, how I can show you the starting of your cross-border business in the e-commerce model. Okay, so like when you can start this, when you prepared, and I think this kind of course is helping you to make this preparation easier for you and clearer, making it clearer for you in your mind. Okay, so actually you have to make your careful evaluation in our module 1 and the module 2. So actually it's helping you to know the China market, and especially how the China online e-commerce, online business is developing. So those kind of things, information, can help you to evaluate when you can come to this market and what is the status of this market in your category. And after that, you make your planning and choose your channel. Okay, like our module 3, we have a lot of introductions on different cross-border e-platforms. So how you can work on those platforms and what is the principle and what kind of preparations you have to do to be landing on those kind of e-commerce platforms. And also more important part, like the operation part, you can have like our module 5, you have the eShop operation, but you do not forget for operation, the backend operation, logistics is also quite important. So in our module 4, we have a very detailed introduction on cross-border logistics, what kind of challenges we are facing and what is the solution is already there provided for you. And of course, the branding and marketing is quite important, that you can have a right way coming to China. So our module 6, like the marketing way, you can get and you can step into this market much more easier from the beginning, from testing water to get a large volume of your business. Okay, so this is actually the preparation is only that what we can give you a full picture in our course within all these 6 modules. Okay, so that's all I can share today. As I share a case that we are operating today, what I'm telling you is that the market is there. You can choose the right way and you can start a business. But do not forget, there is risks. There are risks and there are challenges you are facing. But if you are taking good actions and if you have a good partner in China, actually, after you get a full picture about China, you will have your results here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Power. So thank you for the introduction, and I think so far our participants on the webinar will have a rough idea what they are going to learn from the online courses, from this program, and I believe they have a lot of questions also. So can you put on the presentation? Sorry. Yeah, I want to first of all introduce how the program fees. So the program, as I mentioned, is we have lectures, very senior lectures like Power and Tommy, and some other lectures as well. And so we also have a simulation platform for you to actually practice online. So so the program is not like AGI entrepreneur training programs. It's a paid program. So the program fees will be it's shown on the screen. Yeah, the standard price will be $4,000 USD for each account, and for AGI alumni we have a special discount of 25% off, which will be $3,000 US dollars per AGI alumni account. So that will be the program fees. And registration, if you are interested in the program and you really are thinking about bringing your businesses and sell your products into China, so you can either open the URL by clicking on the link shown on the PPT, or you can use your cell phone to scan the QR code and it will lead you to the registration page. So you can save this page, or you can still watch it using the playbacks in the group. Yeah, now we have the Q&A session. So we will have like 10 to 15 minutes to take questions. If you have any questions, you can ask. Me and Power together, we are going to answer the questions. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Neil. So I do receive one question about the simulation platform. So Alton is asked, I'm curious of how e-commerce trend is changing at very fast pace in China, how that the market simulator can help business to do constant revenue generation or to validate market feasibility. So I want to explain that the simulation, first of all, the simulation platform is based on the research of about 20 years. So the research will take the actual numbers and data from the e-commerce real e-commerce platforms and put into the algorithm in the simulator. So it will be very close to actuality, but it cannot replace actuality. So it's still a simulator. And the purpose that we are using the simulation platform for you to is for you to have an experience how to make decisions and how to and also experience all the processes of doing e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce to sell your products to other countries. So that's the purpose. It's not for you to use the simulator to actually see how the businesses will be if you sell actually your products to China. There are a lot of variables, but you can test your decision chain, experience all the processes that will be involved in the decision-making process. So that's the purpose of using the simulator platform. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thanks a lot. This is an amazing introduction and I would like to attend, but I'm limited by high fee on myself. Any further support? So it's about, as I mentioned, actually we have a special discount for the AGI alumni. If you are our alumni from the previous courses, you can still have the 25% off of the program fee. Yeah, that's the support. Sammy is asking, do these tools apply also for other Alibaba platforms such as AliExpress? If you refer specifically on the simulator, yes, the answer is yes. But if you are talking about the methodology of how to do e-commerce to sell to China, then AliExpress, it's not the same methodology of doing e-commerce cross-border to sell to China or from China to sell to other markets. But the simulation platform is feasible to other markets, for AliExpress as well. I have a ready-to-go branded coffee from Ethiopia. Can you tell me where to start to introduce it? So he is a brand owner of Ethiopia coffee. If you have, if they are thinking about coming to China, what kind of advice would you like to give to them?
Yeah, so actually that depends on how this kind of coffee is acceptable into the Chinese market, because we see that we have also have a search on Taobao that's listed. Some of the Ethiopia coffee are listed on Taobao. So actually, yes, some of the consumers, they realize that African coffee is also quite good. So I think there is already a basic of the consumers, but it depends on you still have to do a rich study in different of the investigation channels and the data platforms to see what is the trend for the coffee market and what is the trend that the consumers are enjoying the African, especially Ethiopian coffee. So that's the first step. And then you set up your route. Maybe testing waters just start from some of the very flexible platforms, even not pay, but actually that test water is just for you to get familiar with all the process. If you do not invest into the market today, actually, it's, as I said, it's a challenge market. You have already got a lot of competitors. Even the large brands are here. So actually, you don't have a good opportunity to present your products into the consumers. So if you, after test water, you just decided to invest into the market, just make it step by step, come into the cross-border way, or even making a general trading model. That way is, we see a lot of successful case today. Yeah.
So to summarize, what Howard has mentioned is, first of all, to understand the market potential, and there are a lot of some figures on Taobao. For example, if you try searching on products or Ethiopia coffee on Taobao, there will be see if there are many like listings in the search result, and there are some other reports that you can find in China market, and so leveraging that, you can understand if there is any potential for Ethiopia coffee, and I believe so, actually. So because people are, you know, just like the red wine back to many years ago, Chinese people try to get educated on what are the coffees or the origin of coffees, and just like what we try to back to a few years ago, we try to understand more about the red wine, taste and origin
the
of
different
red
taste,
wine.
different features.
Yeah, but it takes time, and you really need to understand what are the price range for Ethiopia coffee, and so who are the target customers, are they in the tier 1 city, and what are the profiles of those fans, so how to get in touch with them. And just like Howard mentioned, you can have a test water with your products, and you don't have to haste and set up your own e-stores. You can find a partner or distributor to test your products.
That's right.
And we have many stores on Taobao and Tmall carrying those products, so maybe you can have some distribution contract with them and see how your products are received by the customers.
Yeah, that's only the channel, but you also maybe have some small investment to see it in the like the red book to see how the consumers' reactions. Right? Yeah,
and when you have enough data and you understand how customers react and receive your products, then you will have a bit richer understanding data in terms of data and of your products' potential in China. Then you can have your product plan decided to enter China by then. And just like what we have introduced before, what kind of like import model you shall use, regular import or cross-border import, and what kind of platform you need to use. Shall you set up your own e-store, or you can still do the distribution model with to other stores. So if you want to, so that will be a different methodology approach. And if you want to set up your own store, then you focus more on your branding.
That's right.
And if you want to go with distribution, then you care more about the sales.
The channels, right?
Yeah. So I hope I answer your question. And an example of a non-premium brand that has made it successful to China. As logistic delivering package from USA to Kenya, what's your best advice if you go to China to Kenya?
From China?
If we go to China to Kenya, what's...
Or it's from China, from Kenya to China?
From Kenya to China, right?
I guess it's referred to from China to Kenya.
As logistic delivering packages from USA to Kenya, what's your best advice if we go to China to Kenya? Are you saying that you want to import from China to Kenya?
Yes, export from China, right?
Yeah, so that will not be the topic for our program. So I think we can take another question. And Backshaw is asking any example of non-premium brand that has made it successful to China. It almost looks like it's difficult to bear prices there unless you have a right resource you are selling. Is premium a generic entry policy, you say? So he's asking if it's not a premium brand, is there any opportunity for them to still be successful in China?
Yeah, of course.
A lot of cases, right?
Yeah, even more. Actually, even more cases we can face. A lot of the daily consumption brands of abroad coming to China, they get quite good results. But actually, the principle is the same, because we are facing a large base of consumers. Maybe the cost of the marketing is even sometimes is even higher, because you have to select from them, and a lot of information have already pushed to them, and you have make your education better than others. You may have a different positioning, you may have a different feature that to be acceptable to the consumers.
Yes, and I think brand awareness or brand sensitive is in some specific category. For example, like baby products.
That's right.
And if you think about like a packaged food or food category, the brand is not that sensitive.
That's right.
Yeah. We have curated actually many brands on Tmall and Taobao, which are not very well known, even in the market country. So, for example, if as I mentioned before, you have made a very successful case of the mixed nuts. Actually, it's not because of Costco. Actually, back to then, Costco is not well
famous
known
yet.
Yeah, especially to Chinese consumer.
Yeah.
So the mixed nuts is well known.
That's right.
Ever since that W11.
Yeah, the category is strange to the consumers. The price is just in that level that quite happy to the consumers.
Yes, yes.
And they buy a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So find your differentiation of your products, find the uniqueness of your products, and really understand the potential and how to do the brand positioning or product positioning in China market. Then you will have the chance to win. Can you possibly give examples of products in demand in China from Africa? Do you have any idea that African products?
Yeah, I've been in Africa for several times. I think coffee is, of course, definitely a good category. And also red wine. I know some red wine from South Africa is also quite popular in China. And even some of the fresh products, the seafood are quite good there. And also the fruits. We know some of the oranges from Egypt, and also the some of the something like the grape. Yeah, some of the grapes from also from Africa. Yeah.
And
so maybe also arts. Some of the African local arts are also well known.
And Ru Xiaosong is asking, does the simulator also apply to overseas markets such as Lazada? Yes, just like AliExpress. The simulator platform also apply to if the business model is cross-border e-commerce, then it applies to this kind of business model. Any other questions in HI family? It's about logistic question. So by comparing other famous logistic companies may you recommend DHL for someone want to trade between China and Rwanda?
I think DHL is more like the direct mail. It's kind of a quite expensive solution. But like we already set up some of the overseas warehouse in Hong Kong and in Europe. Sometimes if your African countries can also maybe send your products in the batch to Hong Kong warehouse. We're there, and then maybe a very small quantity, but it saves a lot of cost, like compared with DHL.
Yes, and I do think this is a very general question. Actually, if you want to understand what kind of logistic model you need to use, first you need to understand you make the calculation based on the product cost. And if it's, for example, it's a fashion product with a lot of very long tail assortment, then yeah, direct mail may work because you don't have to stock up in the boundary warehouse or any other type of warehouses to keep a large amount of inventory. But if you are thinking about food. Like food products or some regular products, then it's of course it's cost efficient if you put it pre-place your inventory in a warehouse.
Yeah.
No matter it's a warehouse outside of the border of China or in the boundary warehouse.
Yeah, in our course, we will lead you to calculate different kinds of logistics solutions, what kind of cost you face. So that will be also helpful maybe when you get ready for business.
Yeah, that's almost all for the questions. Thank you, Power.
Thank you.
So I think the purpose of, I want to repeat again that the purpose of the online program is for the people, for the brands and enterprises who are thinking about selling to China and to understand what are the market size, what are the potentials of China market, and are there any regulations, and what kind of like import modules or import business solutions that can be leveraged if you want to sell to China, and if your products are more fit for the regularly, ordinary import, or shall you think about using e-commerce cross-border as a solution to test water? So this is something that we are going to deliver in the online courses, and of course we'll be focusing on the model of cross-border e-commerce model because it's very new comparing with and complicated comparing with the ordinary import model, and so some brands and enterprises will take it as the first step to test water. The market, Chinese market, especially for some category that will have a strict regulation if you are thinking about leveraging the regularly ordinary import, for example, like health products.
That's right.
Or some cosmetics. Yeah, they will be thinking about using the cross-border e-commerce as the first step, and then come to at the same time when they test that the products and brands are very well received in China, then they will be going through all the certification processes and try to get a certificate for the ordinary import. So this is it's a very complicated process that we want to we target for the enterprises who are thinking about selling to China but have very little knowledge about how to sell to China, what are the processes, and what are the key factors you need to take into account. So if you are at this kind of status, you can think about taking the courses that we're providing next month. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or anyone from AGI team. Yeah, I think that's all for the introduction webinar. Thank you for staying with us, and yeah, hope to meet some of you next month. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Power.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice night or day.